Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Today, or now, I've made the sauce already. The sauce is good. The sauce is nice and thick. This is going to be doing chicken cutlets. Okay. I know some people have let it be known to me that they were interested in seeing how I did it or making a video on it. So, oh well. This might get to be a regular thing. So I have a chicken breast here, and I am trimming the veins, tendons, and fats off of it. Okay. Then what I do is I go ahead and put it on its one side, take the blade, I don't know if you can see it, but take the blade and slice. See, you're making thin breasts. Okay. Yes, one is thicker than the other. Alright, so kill me. Alright, but still, you don't have a very thick breast. You have a thinner breast. Take the cuttings, put them aside, and we'll put them in the garbage. Alright, and then we have 3 eggs. Okay, and yes, I know I'm using regular supermarket breadcrumbs, so shoot me. But what I'm doing is I'm using Italian seasoned breadcrumbs and I'm using panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to mix them together. Now, every time you touch a chicken or poultry or eggs or beef or any meat or protein, after, especially if it's raw, after you touch it, rinse your hands off. Okay? You don't have to wash them for 20 seconds, but at least rinse them off in hot water. A lot less with the problem with cross-contamination that way. Okay? So, now, most people just toss them in flour and then in breadcrumbs and that's it. I do a little bit of something extra. Why? Because even the best breadcrumbs don't measure up to me sometimes, or measure what I like. So what I do is I go ahead and I put a measuring cup here, half a cup regular breadcrumbs, okay, about, give or take, yep, half a cup regular, okay. This is only 2 breasts, so if it was going to be more, I'd use more. And half a cup, oh, that opens. That helps. Yeah. So, about half a cup panko, alright, and mix them together. Why? So that you don't get too much of one or another, okay? Now, side, if you look at the olive oil here, the olive oil in the pan is enough so the chicken sits in about roughly 1/4, 1/3 of the way up the side of the breast. When I go ahead as I take a fork and stir up or mix up the breadcrumbs together so they're they're uniform, or somewhat uniform at least. Okay. Then what I do is I take the eggs here, no milk, no eggs. Okay. You can add whatever seasonings you want, spicy seasonings. I'm using black pepper, garlic powder, and a bit of cayenne pepper, okay? All right, believe me, you don't have to spend $5 or $6 on pepper or salt or whatever, okay? The reason I'm putting the eggs instead of the breadcrumbs is because when the breadcrumbs cooks. So what happens is the flavor gets cooked off, so to speak. Whereas with the eggs, it's on the chicken, so you taste it on the chicken, okay? It's a subtle difference, but one that you can tell. A little bit on the cayenne pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of the extra of the garlic powder. Then you take it, mix it together, all right, and you take and put your flame on a low medium flame in the olive oil, because you don't want to burn the olive oil. You don't want to bring it to a smoke point. You want it to heat up, but not boil or burn or smoke or get too hot. All right. Also, if you look at the height of the olive oil, it's only about maybe 1/8 of an inch thick or high, or whatever you want to call it, in the pan. All right. So now, you gotta wait for this to heat up for about a minute or two. And also, the reason you put it on a low medium flame is not just so you don't smoke the oil or burn it, but so you don't cook the chicken breast on the outside before the inside's cooked. Okay? And that happens a lot. All right. So the old saying, low and slow, or slow and low. Okay. Yep, that works. All right. So we go ahead and put the chicken breast and the eggs, spices. Okay. And see, all the spices and everything, and the herbs and everything, or whatever, are coating the chicken. And you spoon it over the chicken a little bit. You see, you get it nicely and uniformly coated. And when the pan's heated up enough, or in the right temperature, whatever, what you do is take, when it's hot enough, you'll know, don't do it in 30-second test. Don't test it at the first minute. 2 or 3 solid minutes. Let it get nice and warm. Nice and hot, you know. And what you do is take a little pinch of breadcrumbs and put it in the pan. It'll tell you right away. It's simple. That's the main drive of this. Meals you can do in like 30 minutes, give or take. You know, I live alone, and you don't always want to order out or, you know, order pizza or Chinese, whatever. No, you make a simple meal. Now this is not really simple. This is a bit more involved, but to some of us, like myself, it's pretty simple. Okay. Next time I might have to do a video on how to make stuffed chicken breast. You know. So go ahead and you take the chicken. Make sure it's done like that, and yep, oil's got to heat up more. Yep. Oh yeah. Always have a well-stocked spice and herb cabinet with basil, oregano, turmeric, parsley, bay leaf, thyme, tarragon, rosemary. Any herb or spice you can think of that you want, because you never know when you just might want to try something different. And one of the fun things about cooking as opposed to baking is almost like an exact science. Cooking, you can fudge a little bit, all right? If you change the ingredients too much, you'll really alter the taste, but you can switch things out here and there, experimenting. It's part of the fun about cooking is that doing things, you know, doing in the kitchen and experimenting, you know. So I like to try things. But this is pretty standard. This ain't rocket science. So wait for the oil to heat up nicely. Have my egg here with my herbs and spices. Breadcrumbs with a chicken breast in it, waiting to go. And that's it. And if you go ahead and use too much oil, the cutlets are going to come out greasy and oily. If you use too little oil, you're going to burn the chicken. You don't want to do that either. Alright, so now, put this sucker in. There we go. That's one. And here comes the other breast, going into the egg mixture. See. And you're probably going like, oh, he's spilling breadcrumbs into the egg. Guess what? That's not entirely accidental, my friends. There's a method to my madness and a madness to my method. Ooh. So, we take and we put the other breast in. There we go. Now what we do here is, see this here? Leftover breadcrumbs, see the eggs? Boom. Right in. Think like an Italian version of a hush puppy. If you wanted, you could take this and cut up some cheese or ham or whatever you want, you know, to stuff it, and form like a meatball around that bit of cheese or that ham or whatever, okay? So, see how nice and thick this is now? Okay. You take and you make a ball. I have big hands, so I make big meatballs, big balls. You know, what do you want from me? All right. And you form a ball, and you put it in oil. Okay, there you go. So there. And I'm going to rinse my hands again. Now, if you guys are wondering, there's the sauce. See? And to give you an idea, that's really thick. So really, really, really low flame of the sauce. And got the chicken going here. And see, the plate's not crowded. You don't want a plate that's crowded. You don't. Because when the plate gets crowded, when the pan gets crowded, no good. It's not good that way. Now, this cutlet, being it's a lot thicker, it's going to take a little bit longer to cook through as opposed to this one. When you start seeing the golden brown start coming up the side of the cutlet, not yellow, golden brown. So when you see the color of the cutlet start coming up, curling up on the side, see, like that. On the thin end, nah, it doesn't work. No. You gotta wait to see it on the thicker end, on the thick end of it, of the breast. Okay? Now, if you look here, you'll see that this hush puppy or dough ball, we're going to call it, has a nice golden brown top. That's what you want. You gotta cook it on all sides, like about a minute or two on each side, each facet or side. Okay, now, see? Okay, this one's going to wait a minute or two longer because it's much thicker. But you look at the color on this one here, okay, it's a lot nicer, okay? It's a lot nicer on this one. And here, see this one being bigger than this one, let it sit for a bit longer. And see, nice golden brown coloring on top. See? So, and this didn't take long. Now the thing what takes longer cooking is not so much the cooking itself really. A lot of times, especially with dishes like this, it's the prep work. So if you do your prep work ahead of time, and you do it properly, you won't have to worry about it taking like hours and stuff. Prep work can take maybe 10, 15, 5, anywhere between 5 and 5 minutes and half an hour, depending on what you're prepping for, you know. So, see? Now, see the color on that breast? That's how you want it. When it starts coming up the side, the thick side of the breast, because, I'm sorry, but I can't cut a breast straight, was a uniform thickness. I have to find a way to do it. I think I got to figure out a way to do it, but I didn't do it today. Anyway, you see the coloring on this one and this one? Yep, and you see the coloring on the hush puppy? Yep. So, And here's the last step, really. You take a plate. Paper towel in. Put a paper towel across it. Because you're gonna, when you put this on the plate of paper towel, you drain the excess oil off of it. Okay. So there you have it. Less than 30 minutes. You have 2 beautiful chicken cutlets, and you have a couple of hush puppies. Okay. That you can, if you wanted to, before you made them, like I said before, you stuff them with a little bit of cheese, a little bit of ham, or both, or whatever you want to put in. You put them like a meatball on it. I didn't do it this time. I'll show it next time. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Y'all take it easy. Have a great weekend.